What's up, y'all? Apologies if my voice or anything sounds any different. I'm feeling under the weather. As far as I know, it isn't COVID-19. I just don't feel too good. I took the day off from school, so I got the notes done for this video, and I'm ready to go. Because today I am really anticipated to talk about the Carolina Hurricanes because they have been a hella entertaining team to watch. And they had a big offseason relatively. Their key departures included goaltender Alex Anokovich, goaltender James Reimer, goaltender Peter Mrazek, forward Brock McGinn, and forward Warren Foegele. Another player I forgot to mention on that list was defenseman Dougie Hamilton. He was a big one. A big hit to that blue line, which meant a guy like Jacob Slavin would have to take a big step up. Their arrivals featured for Jesperi Kotkaniemi, which was a big controversial move. Defenseman Tony DeAngelo, goaltender Frederick Andersen, goaltender Antti Raanta, and defenseman Ethan Bear. There were some depth options in there including Jalen Chatfield and Derek Stepan. Now, depending on how you looked at this Carolina Hurricanes team, you may have thought that this season was going to be a down year because of all they lost in the offseason. I wouldn't disagree with you. I had my doubts too. But they looked at the losses they had in the season and were like, nah. So far this season, the Hurricanes stand at third in the NHL with 31 games played, 23, 7-1 for 47 points. They have a .758 point percentage. They have scored 106 goals and have only let in 66, and that is the best in the league. They are 10-3-0 at home, and they have the second best road record in the NHL with a 13-4-1 record. That's actually pretty good. Being good at home and playing good on the road is really the difference between a good team and an elite team. And I think the Canes are an elite team. And you see, the other thing that separates them from other NHL teams is that they are young, relatively. Like, they have a lot of young players who were drafted recently. The youth surge is unreal in Carolina. So notable young players who are really putting up points is Seth Jarvis. 22 games played, 5 goals, 9 assists for 12 points. I've liked Jarvis since he was drafted in 2020. I felt like, him going to the Hurricanes, he was going to be a really underrated prospect up and coming. I really enjoyed him watching him in the juniors. So I think he's going to be good in Carolina, and he already has been. Another notable guy, Jack Drury. Now, some people have told me that he is more NHL ready than Seth Jarvis. And he hasn't played that much, but he has 2 goals and 2 points in 2 games played, which is pretty impressive for a young guy like him. Another notable player is Marty Necas. Necas is older than Drury and Jarvis, but he's still relatively young, and he looks like he's young. He has a very punchable face, no disrespect. He's played 29 games, has 7 goals, 12 assists for 19 points. Impressive. This is a team that was bad for the majority of the 2010s decade, and they're going to be a cup-contending team for probably 10 more years, if I'm being honest. And I'm being serious. A lot of the players on this team are just now entering their primes, and others haven't even entered their prime yet. And that's good. Now, speaking of these players, we're going to go look into forwards leading the charge now. We're going to look at 3 forwards who have been really good for the Carolina Hurricanes, starting off with Sebastian Aho. Being a second-round pick in the 2015 NHL draft, the most stacked draft in NHL history, Sebastian Aho has really taken a big role for this Hurricanes team, really being known as the goal scorer for them. When you need someone to score a goal, you call 1-800-AHO. He is probably one of the most reliable people in the NHL, where if you put him out there on the ice, he could score a goal for you. So far this season, Aho has played 28 games, has 15 goals, 19 assists for 34 points. It feels like every single game, he'll score a goal. He'll always put one up on the board, no matter what. So, whatever game you expect, Aho is one of the best players to have in fantasy. The next player I want to discuss in forwards leading the charge is nicknamed Turbo, a.k.a. Teuvo Teravainen. Now, Teravainen's an older player relatively when you look at this Canes team, but he's still a very solid player for this team. He's kind of like Carolina's Backstrom to their Ovechkin. So far this season, Teravainen has 31 games played, 9 goals, 16 assists for 25 points. All he's got to do to get points is feed the puck to Aho, and then boom, you get an extra point, buddy. There you go. The final player I want to discuss here for forwards leading the charge is Andrei Svechnikov. Now, Svechnikov, he's known as the goal scorer. He's supposed to be known as the goal scorer, but he's really taken more of a role with playmaking. That's what he did last season. He had more assists than he's had goals, and he has more assists than he's had goals this season, but he's still scoring some goals. Svech has played 28 games, has 10 goals, 14 assists for 24 points. Just an impressive player, and he's really taken a step up from last season where he was kind of down relatively. Now, for a team like this, they have a lot of likable forwards, and I would love to talk about others, but unfortunately, we got to move on. We're going to move on to the blue line X Factors here, starting off with Jaccob Slavin. Now, look, Slavin was overshadowed by a guy like Dougie Hamilton, so this season he really had to take up and play a big role, maybe not offensively, but a big role defensively. And so far, he's done pretty good on that remark. Slavin has played 31 games, has 1 goal, 17 assists for 18 points. Maybe not putting up too much offensively, but 18 points is still solid for a defenseman. He's still playing the great defensive role that he was really set to play for this team. And I mean, there are other defensemen, or aka other menaces, who are putting up points. And you already know I was going to talk about him. The man, the myth, the menace, Tony DeAngelo. After leaving the New York Rangers in quite a controversial way, many people, including DeAngelo himself maybe, thought his career was over. He has a history of politics and a lot of bad opinions and alt Twitter accounts. When he was signed by Carolina, I laughed at it. I was like, El Bozo. But like a lot of players on the team this season, Tony DeAngelo proved me wrong. With a team like Carolina, he's really had the chance to step up and really kind of not only revive his NHL career, but also put up a lot of points while he's doing it. He's played 24 games, has 5 goals, 17 assists for 22 points. He almost has a point per game as a defenseman, and that left some Rangers fans to probably punching the air. And finally, we move on to the backbone, the goaltender who has proven a lot of people wrong, proven a lot of critics wrong, and genuinely has proven almost the entire NHL wrong. It is goaltender Frederick Andersen. After leaving his longtime team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Andersen looked to start someplace new amid all the criticism in Carolina. And that was probably the best place he could have ever gone for his NHL career. Andersen has put up Vezina caliber numbers for this Hurricanes team. He's played 22 games, has 17 wins, 5 losses, and 0 overtimes. He has a 1.92 goals against average and a .929 save percentage. If you ask me right now, he is the Vezina winner this season. He has been so good. Now, despite changing up a lot of their roster during the offseason, the Carolina Hurricanes have really taken a big step from a team that was just playing in one division to a team that is dominant all over the NHL in every single statistic. And for a team that has a lot of young players on it, the future is bright for them for a long time. And despite all of that, I hardly see anyone talking about them. And I feel like that they are the dark horse for the Stanley Cup for the NHL this season and for years to come. Anyways, guys, that is it for me. If you guys want to see some more Carolina Hurricanes related content, you can go take a look at this eye icon right here. It's going to show my playlist for every single Hurricanes video ever made on this channel. I'm pretty sure this is around the 20th video ever. So thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think is your favorite part for the Hurricanes right now. I gotta say, for me, although I love Frederick Andersen and Tony DeAngelo and how they've played this season, it's gotta be Sebastian Aho and his consistent goal scoring. Anyways, thank you all for watching. For Ice Porsley, I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video.